What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Man, what is going on? What?
Hi!
What up? What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
And we are ready to rock.
Yes.
I'm not feeling sick. How about you?
I don't want to jinx it.
Let me jinx it for you. I feel like you're a bit better. Not coughing as much.
Yeah, I'm like slowly on the road to recovery.
Let's go.
It's like the coughs are like fewer and farther in between. The blow in the nose is fewer and farther in between. I'm getting through the nights better.
Oh man. Let's see if we can make it through this podcast without any stops. But we'll see. We'll see.
I'm trying. Okay.
We'll see.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, pound it.
Yeah.
Man, what is going on, everyone? I hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day, whether you were single or taken or it's complicated. I just hope you had a great day. I hope you did something for yourself at the very least. Our Valentine's Day was good.
Yeah. We didn't go out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, 'cause it's just hectic going out on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to I feel like you do that when you're like in a new relationship, maybe where you're like, oh, we can take the day off. We have to go out.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've done that once or twice in the early days.
So we did it the day after, and it was nice. We went and painted our pottery. So we'll be picking that up in a couple weeks. Finally done, and then we went and we saw The Photograph. And we went to Chili's.
Hold on.
It was great.
Speaking of the photo, so the movie just came out with it's with Issa Rae and Lakeith. I don't know his last name. Lakeith something. Lakeith. The guy that was in Get Out that like had a brief moment in the beginning of Get Out, and then somewhere in the middle where they flashed the camera flash at him, and he like got out of his like weird state. Him if you watch Atlanta. Whatever other movie season I can't think of. And I liked the movie. The Photograph was a good movie, at least to me. It was a realistic like love story. Well, someone did not like it.
You're gonna make it out to be something it's not.
Someone didn't like that.
I liked it. I felt like there were times it was dry.
It wasn't though. It was realistic.
Okay,
like she was breaking her mother's cycle,
which I totally respect. Love that, but yeah, I don't know. I think maybe because I'm used to a certain way of romantic movies or something, I felt like sometimes it was dry. It wasn't a bad movie. I liked it, and I definitely liked the premise and the theme and like how they were going about it and all that, but yeah.
So let me ask you this. You're currently watching the Netflix show Love is Blind. Which one do you like more?
The movie. The Love is Blind is like a stupid show.
Good.
Like, I'm just watching that because I just want to see how it unfolds. Because once you start, I'm like, well,
I'm so happy I'm not watching it. I like just peeking over and seeing what's happening. And
he watched the first episode and he was like, nah.
It's not. It just seems so.
But
fake
I feel invested. I want to see like how this shit show like goes out.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't feel like wasting hours watching a show I don't care about.
I feel like it's like The Bachelor in a way. I don't watch The Bachelor. I was never into that, but I feel like it's kind of like that. It's kind of like The Circle, and it's kind of like Married at First Sight, like all put together and had a baby. It's weird. So I'm checking it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just that's like one of those guilty pleasure shows. You just watch it to see what happens. It's not good content.
But nonetheless, so our Valentine's Day was good. It was rocking. Yeah. As you get older in your relationship, it's kind of just like...
We're so ancient.
It's kind of just like, I mean, we're 5 years deep. Like, it's kind of like, yo, we say, yo, let's go out sometime, get each other gifts. I don't really want a gift, and all that stuff, and yeah.
He got me the greatest gift.
Feel free to share with the people.
He's like, tell them how good it was. They're like these big canvases. There's 2 of them. And I think you said they're like 16 by 24 or something. I don't know what size they are. I didn't measure. But
I mean, you just pull out the measure app on your phone and it could tell you right then and there.
I didn't do that. So he strategically gave them to me. So he gives me the first one, and it's a wedding photo. It's one of the favorite wedding photos we had. And so I'm like, yay. And that's like awesome because we hadn't like printed any yet. And then he gives me the second, and it's this blown up image of Missy our dog, for those of you who do not know, and she's my love and my life and my fur baby and everything. Yeah. And I literally screamed. I was like, oh my God. And I think it's hilarious because we hung them next to each other. And so the wedding picture that he printed was one where like we're outside the venue and you see the big window and the up lighting and all that. And then there's like us kissing and like you see our silhouette and like we're small. And then there's this picture of Missy and she's just filling up the entire canvas. And I'm like, we look like ants. Like she looks like she's just towering over us and the tables have turned. I swear that print makes her look bigger than she even is in real life. Like it's kind of funny. So I thought that was hilarious and I was dying and like, oh my God. But it's funny because other than a few like 4x6 pictures that I have printed of Missy, I don't really have like a print of Missy, so like that was really cool. And I was like, oh my God!
Yeah, I'm killing it.
And she'll be 3 this Saturday. Oh my gosh, it's flying by. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
oh my gosh, I loved them.
That's pretty much. And her gift to me was just money.
Yeah, well, we went over this in the last episode. That's all you want.
But it's all cool because I take that money and I invest it and I make hopefully in the future double that of what was given. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that if it helps us out in the future.
Try and get that house.
That's like his thing lately. Instead of using money to like get something he wants, like an item or whatever, he's like into like putting it in stocks and just investing and stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm not complaining.
Exactly. Once we get the house, we can get the Tesla.
That was your plan all along, wasn't it?
Pretty much. So
okay, like, never mind. I take it.
Once we get the house,
take it back. I take it back.
Oh, just wait. Just wait. You're gonna be like, well, you did help us get this money for the house, so I guess you could have a gift.
Okay, I am not gonna sound that way.
Not gonna sound that slow. Like,
no.
I guess you're only the greatest person in my life, so I guess so. Right?
No.
That's how you get a like.
No, absolutely
you're gonna be like,
not.
man, this guy is so amazing. He got me a house. Well, we got each other a house.
You better be real careful there. Who just gave herself a raise?
I raised the roof. Whoop whoop. No.
And I control when I get monetary raises. Whoop whoop.
No, you really want to do this on a podcast?
Nope.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just saying though, so be real careful about who got who a house.
So I want to talk about this recent, like, I wouldn't even call it a controversy, but it's like the first celebrity outside of Caitlyn Jenner to like come out, and it's like it's not an adult now, it's a kid.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. So wait, are you talking about Lil Nas X? No, are we going into that?
No, I'm talking about Dwyane Wade.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I was confusing the topics. Never mind.
Okay, I'm trying to lead into this.
That's sorry. That's why I was confused.
The first like notable person, because I know you had other people like Gigi Gorgeous and like I can't even think of any others.
Gigi? Oh, because I showed you.
Yeah,
that's right. I was gonna say, I'm like,
but like, yeah, you had these people, but like this is someone that's like Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union. They're like notable people. You've seen Dwyane from basketball, Gabrielle from her movies and TV shows that she's done.
Laverne Cox.
Yeah, but she's older.
Okay, but she's known for that.
This is different. This is just different because it's a kid. It's like it's relatable. Okay, for you guys that aren't informed, let me just dive right in. So Dwyane Wade came out that his son, Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union came out that their son, Zion, wants to now be referred to as Zaya. And I believe, I'm not sure I don't think they came out publicly on like the transitioning part, if that's going to be a thing, but essentially what she wants to be referred to. And I want to bring up this like.
How old is she?
Quote, she is 12, I believe.
Is this their only child?
No, they have others. I think they have one older kid. There's a picture I could show you if it's on this article.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right there.
Yeah, he came out. He opened up about it on Ellen's show about his 12-year-old daughter there. So, okay. So here's a quote. This is from when Dwyane Wade was on Ellen. He says, "Zaya, our 12-year-olds came home and said, I don't know if everyone knows. Originally named." Oh wait, this is a horrible ass quote. I don't know if anyone knows, originally named Zion, born as a boy, came home and said, hey, I want to talk to you guys. I think going forward, I'm ready to live my truth, and I want to be referred to as she and her. I would love for you guys to call me Zaya.
Okay.
And here's a picture of, that's him right there, or her, sorry.
And then, okay, so they have an older daughter, and then is the baby another boy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Don't quote me on it.
So they have so they have experience with both.
Yeah. And this, I think this is a recent photo from like a trip they went on last, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, here goes some other pictures of them together. So I'm looking at a BuzzFeed article of this, and it kind of details it. So Zaya's older brother Zaire,
okay,
also wanted to show support. He
wasn't pictured there.
Oh, so he's old. Okay, so he has an older brother also. Okay. So they have an older sister and brother, I assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, just pictures of Zaire and the younger brother.
Okay. Where are we going with this?
I'm just looking at, like, it's interesting. That's interesting. So the older brother was like, he was just giving a tribute, and I guess like one of the captions in a photo, he's like, man, I remember bugging my mom as a kid, telling her I wanted a brother so bad. I was the only child looking for company and someone to look after and take care of, Zaire wrote. I assume this is him?
Well, yeah, it's his Instagram.
I mean, I'm going to fight you. I've been blessed to have my best friend, Zaya, with me for 12 years.
Is it Zaya or Zaya?
I don't know. Zaya. I don't know how to pronounce it, so don't kill me. We did everything together. We fought, we played, we laughed, we cried, but the only thing we never did was leave each other behind. That's
Aww.
dope. Like, and it's real important to have like your siblings like back you in something like this.
Well, yeah.
Hectic. Because it's like, damn.
But how are they? So how are they as parents reacting to this?
Who, like Gabrielle Union, Dwyane Wade?
Yes,
they're embracing that.
Okay, good.
There's a clip I wanted to share. I hope it's in this article of Zaya like talking as they're like, looks like they're golfing. I'll play it for you guys here if I can find it. I thought it was cute. It was a little cute like clip. I'm like, aw. Where is this bad boy? Come on. And you know what the question is gonna follow up with after this. I'm just trying to give you guys all the information here. Here's the clip. See if I can get this going. Give me a second.
You got this. I believe in you.
Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, here's the clip here. I'm going to play it for you, and you can watch on the side here.
Because they're afraid they will be judged. I would say, don't even think about that. Just be true to yourself. Because are you really even, what's the point of being on this earth if you're going to try to be someone you're not? It's like you're not even living as yourself, which is like the dumbest concept to me. It's just like, be true and don't really care what the stereotypical way of being you is.
Even when people are being mean, even when people are getting hurt because they're trying to be themselves, and even through that, you still want people to make sure that they live their truth.
Yeah, I know it can get tough, definitely. But I think you push through and you be the best you, and especially more recently, it's become more accepting, even though there's, obviously a lot of people out there who still are set, more in the back in their days way of mind. But I think even through hard times, just you gotta just push through. I mean, it's worth it. I feel like it's very worth it when you reach that point of yourself.
I'm feeling free.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like you.
Yeah.
Feeling like you don't have to hide.
You could look in the mirror and say hi to yourself. Nice to meet you.
Love it.
Instead of I don't really know who I am. It's like a full identity crisis. Yeah.
The caption.
Yeah, so
The caption.
this was a post from Gabrielle Union that she posted a couple days back saying, "Meet Zaya. She's compassionate, loving, whip smart, and we're so proud of her. It's okay to listen. It's okay to listen to,
love, and respect your children
Yep.
exactly as they are. Love and like good people."
Yeah.
So cute.
I love it so much, is like how she has a family that supports her. Because like, yo, so much you see that like happen, or you hear stories about like, I came out and like my family disowned me, or
Right.
this family didn't like me, and it's like, I love that so much.
Well, and you hear a lot of scary stories specifically about Black transgender women.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a topic like a long time ago that I wanted to talk about. I'm not sure if I'm gonna talk about it on this episode, but I get a lot of races don't like trans people for whatever stupid reasons that like those people have. Mm-hmm. But like, there's something about being Black and trans that's just like, depending on the area you live in, it's deadly. And like, there's been so many cases like last year that I saw like always on the news popping up, or just articles where like, this Black trans women would die, or where someone like, there was one that was wild. I think it was in Florida, where like they killed this woman and like in her car, like the car was like crazy burnt, like it was, yeah. And it's sad. So yeah, seeing a Black family accept their Black daughter is amazing. And I there's an image here. I may share it on YouTube, may not, but I thought this was so dope because it's like boys can be princesses too, and it's what is that, Cinderella?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cinderella trying to put on like a glass slipper on her boy, and then like this Black mom like trying to pull her away, saying, I'm sick of this mess, not my son," and has like a belt in her hand trying to like drag the son away.
Okay, so there's like a campaign, and that's it. Is the boys can be princesses too, and it's a whole thing like online.
Okay.
And I've seen all these images about like their little boys, and like they're like with their like idols of like princesses and stuff, and I think it's the most precious thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. that image kind of makes me really upset.
Now, you know what the obvious question I'm going to ask you is, like, okay, so in the next couple years, like once we get our life right in our house, our future house that we want to get into and everything, get that situated, damn, you're actually tearing up.
Yeah. I don't like that image. Kind of made me really sad.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, once we get everything situated and our life in order, and we're like, damn, we're ready to have kids. This is something to like,
right,
to like keep in mind as an adult.
Right. Like, and I know we've talked about a lot when it comes to kids, like, if they have disabilities or just anything. And like, I know we were talking this morning, this is a little more silly, but how like technically our baby could come out looking like anything, like we never really know. Like a lot of them look perfectly mixed, but
it's either going to be
some are like more white and some are more black.
Exactly.
So there's, kind of with our kid, it's like a toss up. But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously very open to whatever. I think the tricky part comes in for some parents when, and I can understand this, where kids are interesting. Kids are very, they experiment a lot, and they change their mind a lot, and like there's a lot going on and stuff as they're getting older. And I think sometimes it can be confusing if they're serious or not. And that's kind of what you have to try to differentiate, is like you have to kind of understand, like, okay, I feel like because she was 12, she's at a point where she kind of knows better, because it's for speaking as a cis straight person, for me, I've never felt a different way when I was like 5, but I know some people say that they knew from when they were like 3. For me, I think that would be it, is I just need to, like, I'm open to it, but I don't want to be pushing something on my kids that they're not necessarily serious about. So, like, I'm kind of the type where I'm like, if you're for real and, like, you understand what you're saying and, like, you're, like, going to be in this and like live this and that's you, then I'm totally like 100% and like we'll go that way. I just want to make sure, because I don't want it to be where you're like, you hear about it and then you're like, well, like that might be fun to try, and then like, you know, I don't want to push that. I don't want to try and like manipulate the situation anyway. So that's my only worry, is I want to make sure that I'm supportive in whatever they actually need.
So I'm gonna say, at least for me, I think back to when I was 12 and 13, and I was like the nerdy, not nerdy, because you wouldn't think I would nerdy if you saw me, but like the guy, like I realized at a young age I like technology. I would love to like have a future in like the technology field, somewhere in that. And like I feel like at 12 and 13, yeah, you're still young, but I feel like you have an idea of what path is like right for you.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So I feel like by that age it makes sense. I think when you're like under 10, like, and you're really really young, I just don't want to, like, I want it to, you know, be serious. Like, I don't want to like push something and then they're like, just kidding. I was just.
But here's the thing. Like, I would say, let's say if our son or daughter came out and said they were trans for whichever way, I would handle it with any situation when it comes to a kid, where it's like, I'm gonna give you the pros and cons. I'm gonna tell you this is how the world's gonna view you. I 100% accept you, love you. That's not gonna change. I got you.
Right.
But just so you're aware of this is how the world's going to treat you. I have your back.
Right.
Sometimes I'm not going to be there to like help you in those situations.
Right.
I just want you to understand like how some people will try to hurt you.
I think they get that to a certain extent by the time they've already said that to their parents, though, because I'm sure they've already seen this stuff online. We're in the day and age where you can kind of see how the world is.
Yeah.
So I feel like they already kind of know some of the consequences.
Sure.
So I wouldn't want to focus on that.
I'm not focusing on it, but it's like, it's good to have. I get
because
you see it online.
Because you don't want to deter them.
I don't want to
from being open with you.
I don't. But I'm not saying not to be open. I'm telling you, this is what. It'd be with anything. If it's like, oh, it's your first time driving, I'm gonna tell you, yo, this is what's gonna happen. Like it's just me having the not the education, but the experience of like how the world's gonna view you.
No, and I get that. Okay. I'm just saying. Where was I going with this? Like I don't know. You know how kids are. Like you could say like I love you and I support you and all that stuff, but if they even hear that you're like talking about like, well, but the X, Y, and Z can happen, I feel like, you know, kids can.
There's not going to be a but for me. There's going to be I love you, you know, understand whatever, and I'm going to be like, and I want you to understand. I just want there to be a level of understanding. It's not going to be a but, because I feel like but is always but's the negative.
It's a negative, yeah.
I'm going to say, and I just want you to understand, because it, along with you accepting this part of you and you know, identifying with it, which is fine. Yeah. Understand what comes with it, because no matter what race, gender, whatever you are, like there are things you have to accept, like being, because that's how the world's going to judge you with these stupid like notions and stereotypes and all that stuff. So I don't know.
My only worry for something like that is then I know that if they want to fully transition physically, that comes with a high cost. My only worry would be is being able to provide something like that. Yes. Because especially if this is a teenager, let's say, is, you know, when they tell you this and they want to slowly start it, that's what I would worry about, is because it's a cost that we didn't prepare for. You know what I mean? Like it's a big one. It's not something that's like, you know, there's a lot of steps and there's a lot of things, and
I would be willing to, depending on the age.
And it's like, I don't want to seem not supportive.
I mean, no, they're not getting that.
I
wouldn't think a kid would like automatically be like, man, you're not going to pay for me to get this transition. Like, I don't think that's the case. But I feel like they would understand if they're like, we can't like afford that, because obviously they probably know what our financial, they have an idea of like our financial like backing is. And I feel like it'd be reasonable to say like, once you start working, we'd be willing to like work with you on like something.
Right.
Of course we're not made of money, but like we can, you know, support you in some way, as long as you're also supporting yourself in that way also. So it's not just us like bearing that financial cost if you really want to do this. Because it's like
there's creative ways too. Because dare I say, I don't know, say like if we had a college fund going from when they were a baby and they had zero interest in college.
Dog, you are wild. I don't know about
it's
college
wild.
funds,
It's wild. But I'm saying, coming from a person who ended up not needing college and didn't really want it, and like it didn't do any, like I'm not using it. Like coming from that kind of person who is making something of themselves in something that did not require college. That's where I'm coming from. I'm like, if they're also at this point in life where they're like in a trade school or they're wanting to whatever, like, I don't know. I'm just saying that, you know, there's creative ways.
Yeah. I don't know about college. I'm still up on the fence on if I want to even like save money up for.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. I said if, like because exactly, but that's my point. That's exactly my point, because I also don't want to force college on my kids.
I do like the idea of like putting money into stocks and like having like a certain amount go in like a month to where it's like a certain stock that I like it's something that like is gonna have like an average return and it's not gonna be like you losing a lot.
Yeah.
I do want to do that because that's kind of similar to like what you would do for like a 401k. So it's like you're putting something in and you're able to like make money from it. I don't know. That's one idea I have.
But yeah, I mean, I'm totally with it. Whatever truth my kid wants to live, that's not my decision. And I think when you have kids, it's kind of like when you sign up to have kids, it's not just this like frivolous decision of like, oh, like want to have a baby, and like you know how like people romanticize it, like, oh, it's gonna be adorable and we're gonna be so in love and like all this stuff. Sure, but like you really have to like sign up for the fact that your kid, like, it's so much more than even people used to think, where yeah, your kid they'll have their own personality and you can't even control that part, but on top of it, yeah, you don't know if you're going to have twins. You don't know if you're going to have a kid with disabilities. You don't know if they're going to end up being a sexuality that you don't necessarily love. Like, there's going to be so many variations to that child. And I'm like, honestly, and people may not like this, but like, I don't think you should be a parent if you're not completely open to any possibility. Mm-hmm. Like, what? Because your child has to be unconditionally loved. Unconditional love means that stuff will not change the fact that you love your child. And I think some people who have become parents who are, not the best fit or, all that, they don't understand that. Mm-hmm. is well, then why have a kid?
Well, like, and it's funny that you say that, because remember a few episodes back, probably back in like December, we talked about like I don't even know if we got that deep into it, but it was regarding like an interracial post, and someone that posted it, like they have kids and they were kind of shooting down like interracial relationships.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking, I'm like, dog, you got kids yourself, and it's like,
same thing.
You're not gonna like them if they decide to like date someone that's
same
not
thing.
black.
There's so many variations. They could date someone you don't, of a different color, different whatever. They could do a job. Their dream job could be something that you absolutely hate. Like the whole, I know some races, the stereotype is like, oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to, all these like prestige things, and it's like, okay, well, trash men make a good living, believe it or not. So, yeah. I mean, hey, like, I don't care. Yeah. There's so, like, you don't have control over your child. And that's going to be an interesting experience for me, because I'm a person who, I do like control. And I like, even when I'm that person that, like, when my life is out of control and it's chaotic, then I'll like clean something because I can control it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a real thing. You're laughing. Saying
it's not, but I get it.
But like,
it's just weird.
People like me, it's like, okay, when everything else is kind of falling apart around you, you try to find the one thing that you can at least control a little to kind of center yourself. Okay. And kids is going to be a very interesting experience for me. And I think my relationship with you has kind of already helped with that part, where I'm not as in control and it's more of a partnership. Yeah. But kids are like next level, because you truly, like, I understand where people are coming from. I'm not a mom, so I don't understand that way, but I get it when they're like, you don't have control at all over your kids. And like, obviously that's shown to you right from the jump, because your kid is crying at all times of night and go in the bathroom whenever and you know, all of it. But even as they grow up, like you can mold your kid and you can teach them good values and you could like help them and things like that, but there's no way you can tell them like you have to be this type of way, you have to think this type of way, you have to be in this profession, you have to love only this person, like you just can't. And that's, I think, the powerful thing of like there is no unconditional love like parenting, because even like in relationships, people try to say, oh, I love you unconditionally. No, we don't.
Yep.
In relationships, there's conditions all the time. Like that's part of the whole expectation. And like, you know, well, like if you do this, then, you know, but literally with parenting, like if you're doing it right, you literally love that child until your last breath, like no matter what.
Yeah. And
so I'm ready for it. It's gonna be a challenge for me. I'm not saying it's not, but yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm on the same page. So yeah, that's how I feel in general. Like as soon as that kid pops out of you, I'm like, yup, my heart's gone. You got my heart. You got my whole heart. It's gone.
I'm kind of excited for. I know, like a lot of people say the moment when you. Hey, shut up! I'm doing good. The moment like when you give birth and like that it's just this whole like nothing else matters, and like they even say how like once you give birth and like you have this child on you, like that even like the pain like means nothing, and that like you're just like in this euphoric state, and like you're just, it's like everybody talks about how it's this love like you never understand until you have a child. And I'm like, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
But all I know is too, when it comes to if my child were to come out as anything, any variation of sexuality and gender, if anybody in my life has an issue with it, bye.
Yeah,
like
I'm not playing with
I'm
that.
not playing that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the ultimate, like, listen, like, even if it's blood family and all that, I'm not doing that. I can't. Because now this is my family. Like, this is the family I've created. And this is the family that I go hard for and support. And, like, this is mine. Like, and no. Like, I cannot do that at that point.
I say this so much, but, like, I swear when we have a kid, like, I am not playing. Like, if I don't like however someone's, like, handling my kid or doing what, like, I get why, you know, you see, like, these forums that you're on. Like, we're on some, like, local forums, and you see where I saw recently, like a week ago, where this lady was like going off on the school because they didn't say something, or I think she brought like some jacket to school, and like she didn't come back home with it. Like her daughter didn't come back home with this jacket or whatever, and I guess her daughter's son or some other kid took it. And it's just like, I get it, because like, yo, you don't want anything to happen to your kid, and it's like, come on now, like guys. Like, you don't see my daughter walked in with this jacket, and then you see some other kid walk out with it. You don't, like, say anything or put two and two together. Like, I get it. So I'm going to be like that parent that's going to be, like, on it. Because I'm not... If you're not there to back your kid, who else is? Mm-hmm. So I'm with it. What?
No, I mean, obviously how you're raised to and everything, like, shapes how you want to be as a parent. And I just... Yeah, I feel very strongly about certain things. So.
All right. Well, that was good.
Yeah.
You want to take a break, cough break, anything?
No.
Well, look at that.
I know. See, I told you.
Okay.
Doubt me.
So, on to another topic that's completely different, but I thought it was interesting. You're gonna.
This is why I was confused. Okay, so we're going into a Lil Nas X topic that he has, and I don't know what it is, but... I was confused because I thought we were talking about that before. When you brought up Caitlyn Jenner, I was like, well, they're in the LGBTQ community, but it was like different. So that's why I was really confused.
Nah, bro.
So I get it now. Like, it makes sense.
Okay. So Lil Nas tweeted recently saying, "Call me old fashioned, but I was raised to serve my queen." Oh, congrats, Lil Nas X. Clean for her, cook for her, and everything I do is for her. And if she cheats, that is on me. She called me slipping, and I will apologize and do better.
I feel like I did see this.
Dog. Dog, I have a lot of thoughts on this. What? I feel like wheels are turning.
Okay, first of all, let me get this right. Is he bisexual?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. It's an interesting tweet. Did you look at like comments? Did
No,
people like have a lot to say?
I saw a screenshot on some probably on Facebook, and I just saved it, so I didn't see any comments on it. I wasn't really looking at.
I want to know your thoughts first.
Oh God, of course, I kind of figured. I don't agree.
With what part?
I have a major issue when it comes to giving my all. Not giving my all. Let me try to.
Careful how you word this.
When it comes to like being like, I'll do this for you, I do this for you, I do that for you. Kind of like that old school mentality of like the housewife thing.
The roles,
Yeah.
gender roles.
I have a major issue with that. Because I ever since I was a kid, and it's probably because of my upbringing, because I saw like my mom handle a lot of that stuff, and my stepdad like kind of do the whole work thing. I never really liked that. And like in my mind, especially growing up as a teenager, I'm like, yo, I like it to be equal. Like if we have a place, we're both gonna like chip in and do things and whatever. Like just everything in general. It's if it's our place, it's like
right.
Like the only thing you can slip on is like, yo, you don't have to. Like the only thing that I don't consider equal is like your car. Like dog,
well, yeah.
I'm not cleaning your car. You clean your car. It's yours. Like we could buy it together, but guess what? If you're the main driver, that's yours.
Yeah.
Like, but the house, it's like a joint thing.
Not like either of us really care about cleaning your car anyway.
But like, I'm just an example. Like,
Yeah.
Like we clean for each other. Like, yeah, I don't cook as often, but when I cook, it's bomb. Chef's kiss.
I love that.
But
He took that from me. I've been doing that lately.
but I just say like I feel like it's equal. So I have an issue with that in general. And then he's like, if I do all this for you, if I clean for you, cook for you, and everything I do is for her, and if this person still goes out and cheats, then I'm the problem. Because that's what I'm seeing from it. He's like, he's raised a service queen, clean for her, cook for her, and do everything for her. And if she cheats, that's on me. She caught me slipping. So that means maybe he was lacking on, he stopped like doing it, and like she just decided to cheat. And I'm like, what?
I have like, I don't know, mixed feelings about this. Because like, I'm with you where it's like, yeah, it's the way you're looking. Yeah, we're like we work as a team versus specifics, and for us that's worked out really well, because like we even tried for a while, like here's a specific thing you do and a specific thing I do, and like it just kind of didn't flow as good. And it's the whole yeah, like I saw growing up that there was too much put on one person, and then that can lead to resentment. And it just doesn't make sense if it's not as divided, if like one person is doing pretty much everything, including like the work and the chores and like all that, and then one person's like not pulling weight a lot. And so there's that, and it doesn't even matter which way, like the whole queen and king thing, like that's adorable. Like, it's cute to like look at each other as like, yeah, we're like amazing couple, like power couple, like we're this thing, like cool. But yeah, I'm very much for the trying to help each other out thing and be a team. But the whole cheating thing too, I don't know. And I feel like if someone cheats, it's not right, and I don't agree with it. However, and I know we've talked about this before, there usually is a reason someone cheats. It's not like everything's la-di-da and you're just like, hey, I'm just going to go do this, unless, I'm sure there's an exception to that rule. But I mean, if it's something like you didn't cook right or something, I mean, that's a little extreme. I think more of cheating happens when it's like the emotional needs aren't getting met, or like sometimes the physical, but I feel like a lot of times it's the emotional needs. And sex is just an easy way to get that temporarily, I think. But so like I get what he says, that he's saying it's on him in that regard, because when someone cheats, something happened.
Yeah.
Something slipped, like something did slip, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I'm like mixed. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I get
I think
it
it would
but,
be
like,
stupid if it's a matter of like you didn't clean that corner right, and then like, but
I get it, because it's like we saw like a Jubilee video recently, because they do the whole thing of like, you know, they did like a cheating one a week or so ago, and like no one's reason that they cheated was like a good reason, because at the end of it, if you're not happy with your partner, with whatever they're doing or whatever, it's like you could just say you're out.
dude, I know we talked about this too. I never cheated. Like, I was unhappy for a while, like a long while, and that, like, I was telling you how, like, yeah, sometimes like people would look attractive to me and all that, like, you know, just natural like feelings, but that never crossed my mind to like actually go through with cheating.
Like,
and like I was like, no, that was me. It was like if I got unhappy enough, I would leave, and I did. Like, that's it.
Like, I totally get, like, there was a time, like, this is like probably like 2017ish, where like we weren't like in the greatest place and all that stuff, and like we were like on the edge of like probably breaking up. And like I could see in like the midst of that, if someone was like okay, everything's going real bad, it's been bad, you know, it's not like we got into like a little fight and it's like you go and cheat and so on, but it's like it's been something where it's like it's dragging, it's you're kind of like in like a weird place where you're like, okay, we feel like it's ending and all that stuff, and then like someone happens to like slip in at that time. I can get that. It doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
But like that's where like the only part where I'm like, yeah, I can understand like that part, because let's say if you decide to go out with your friends or something, and then like some guy is like trying to talk to you because they find you attractive or something, and then you're like, I feel like my relationship's ending, so I'm gonna.
Well, right,
you know,
and that's what I said, is like, that's kind of what I was saying, is that it was consistently not happy for a while, and so that's why I started to kind of look at guys differently, and like, you know, and and wonder, and just be like, what if I got out of this and I was with him, or like, what, you know, that kind of stuff. But still, I still had the willpower. I was not going to do that. Like, I just felt like it just, breaking up is hard enough. Like, if you guys are actually like in love and like you've been together a while and all that stuff, like breaking up's hard enough for both parties. So I feel like to add salt to that, and to be like, I'm going to cheat on this person and ruin their trust in other people, like, I'm just not with that. Like,
Look at you, killing the game.
yeah, so like, you could be confident in me.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at that.
Hopefully, we won't get that bad ever, but yeah, because we have
saying.
communication skills.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only part that like I can like understand it. But outside of that, it's like, there's really no reason for this person to cheat, and I kind of feel like you're giving the okay for the person that you're with to like just cheat on you because you got into like some fight, and it's like, all right, well, screw you, I'm gonna go with this other person. Like, that's how I feel.
Well, yeah, if people cheat when the littlest thing goes wrong, I'm like, you shouldn't be in that relationship, clearly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You know, like, if it's like the first time something goes wrong, or like, you know, it's like, no, you should work on that before being in a relationship,
So that's all I had.
because stuff is hard. They're not kidding when they're like, oh, marriage is hard and it's all your whole life, and like things are always going to change and like all this stuff. So it's like, yeah, you kind of have to prepare that you're not always going to be happy. But that doesn't mean that like, okay, I'm going to dip now. Like,
Yeah.
if you're into that, like if you're into a committed relationship, monogamous, whatever it is, sure. But like, yeah.
That's all I had. I just had to share that because I'm like, this is so.
He's always tweeting interesting things. I told you for Valentine's Day, he's like, happy Valentine's Day, like, go out and get pregnant and do sex or something like that. And I'm like, what?
He had like a TikTok. I just want to show you like the TikTok or whatever it was with him like putting a pickle on his nose and something else and like doing the whole Squidward thing.
Oh, I saw that.
And I'm just like,
I saw that.
This guy, like,
he's an interesting one.
I guess when you have money and you're bored, you're just like, hey, why not? That's all I got on that topic. Now, you want to talk about this one I did not care to talk about because...
All right, it's just it's a short
in 2020,
topic.
I'm all Jussie Smollet out.
Jussie
Smollett, in the words of Dave Chappelle. Like, I don't care about this at all. Like...
All right, I just wanted to bring something up I thought you would care about.
What I care about is seeing Empire's ratings after this happened because we stopped watching the show. I don't care to go back to it. I just saw like Taraji tweeted like when was it, like maybe a couple days ago or a week ago, that they had their 100th episode, and I'm like, cool, who's watching it?
Anyways, so it was announced a few days ago. He was indicted by a grand jury on 6 counts of making false reports. And I knew people would go crazy over this. In the Twitter comments, one person said Carolyn Donham, the lady that claimed Emmett Till whistled at her, is still alive and free, though.
I thought she died.
Nope.
Oh, she passed away. I swear she passed away a couple years ago.
No, I don't think so.
I swear. I feel like she's so...
the point is, even if she died free. She never paid for that.
It was horrible. Yeah.
Okay? So, like, that's a really good point. Yeah. Okay? Because they did, what? Something so similar if you look at it.
Yeah. Like,
come on. And then, I just want to show you this. Someone commented this just by itself. It's just a picture of Dave Chappelle during, like, the skit. But yeah. I just thought I'd bring that up because I thought it was interesting that, if you're a fancy celebrity and you got money, you can do stuff that is against the law and waste professionals' time and all that good stuff and get away with it, which is awful.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, his... I would like to think his image is still kind of ruined from it.
Yeah, I don't see him
like it's not like
for a while.
Right.
And it's like it's all just trying to make Empire better, and I'm like, again, it's like these people that commit murders. It's like, don't you think you're gonna get caught? Like, I don't really understand it.
It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this because the whole rest of 2020, I don't want to talk about this guy. Like, I don't want, like...
I mean, that was kind of it. I don't know what else we would talk about him.
Let's talk about how Empire is fleeting.
I find it funny. So we haven't watched Empire in a while, so I don't know what's going on. But I saw on Twitter about how, like, now they're like, oh, like, who killed Lucius? And I'm like, literally at the same time that everybody is saying who killed Ghost on Power. It's kind of funny.
Well, in 50...
Because Power is, like, the better version.
But 50 was right. Like, they... In the beginning, like, they stole a lot of, like, Power's, like, marketing stuff, and, like, there was a whole, like, comparison because Fox, like, kind of stole from them, and then it was kind of, like, they stopped for a while. But I'm like, But the thing with Fox, they always kept leading. They always led with that, like, oh, who's gonna die? And they always kept freaking, like, trying to hype it up. Like, every season, it's like, okay, who's gonna die here? Is Andre gonna die?
I know,
like,
that's true.
It's like every single time, and it got annoying. Where it's like, stop. Like, they kept foreshadowing.
Right, whereas in Power, it was more like of a surprise. And you were always like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like that's better.
Yeah.
You know?
It was stupid.
Anywho's it's on to your good old relationship advice.
Yeah, this one... It's an obvious one. I just thought it was interesting, kind of keeping the theme of cheating. Oh, boy. So, This one goes on to say, my best guy friend just proposed to his girlfriend of 10 years. She said yes, then confessed to me that she has been cheating on him. Do I tell him?
Oh.
So, for context of age, the girl is 29, the guy is 31.
Dang, so they're like...
They're older.
Yeah, but they were young, 19 and 21.
That's right. Yeah.
They've had their whole, like, They might have had like someone before each other, but that's like a.
Well, she has someone right now, probably.
Oh my god.
So.
No, that's my okay. Before even reading this, I'll put that out there too. Because when I thought I was gonna be with my ex forever and everything, everybody's always like, oh, like, are you sure you would really want to do that if you're with like this person since like high school and like that's the only person and the only, and just everything. And I'm very much okay with that. Like, if that worked out, like, I'm very okay with that. I was like secure enough in that if we were meant to be and like we were good and all that, to me, I didn't need to go and like experiment around and all that. But it's sounds like when someone is together that long from that young and then they end up cheating, that they do have that kind of mindset that it's almost like, do I just want this person for my whole life, or do I want to see what's out there? Because there's those kind of people that are like, they'll be together and then they'll be like, hey, maybe we should take a break. Like, I just want to make sure, and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's sad for the other person.
This guy goes on, or whoever it is, I assume it's a guy, goes on to say, or it's probably a girl, because she says, my best guy friend. And I feel like only a girl would say that.
Or, I don't know.
I feel like only a girl would say that.
Okay.
And it would make sense because you'll see it in this. So they go on to say, I know this sounds like a no-brainer, but it's a bit more complicated than that. As I stated in the title, he and I are very close, and they have been together for a long time. So I've been extremely close with her as well over the past few years. I now consider her my best friend. We were out celebrating their engagement, and she got pretty hammered. I took her to the bathroom, and she started sobbing and confessed that she's been sporadically cheating for the last year or so with a married friend of a friend. Okay.
Dang.
She told me that neither of them have plans to tell their significant other, and she will stop now that she is engaged. I feel like I have to tell him, but betraying my best friend's trust and blowing up too close friends' relationships is very difficult for me.
Gosh.
Hoping to get some unbiased advice.
I love how she's like, she'll stop now that she's engaged, but let's not mind the married guy. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I always found this very tricky. It's very tricky. Because it's like, you want to, and you want to, in the long run, help the person. But it's a very tricky thing to, like, step over those boundaries. Because it can go either way. Some people, like, really hate you if you do that. Like,
we're going to get into that. There's an update.
Like, some people don't understand. Some people don't see it as like oh, you were helping me. Like, they'll be mad in the moment, but then they eventually see like, oh, you were helping me. Some people, like, your friendship could end over that. Mm-hmm. But then at the same breath, your friendship can end if you were hiding that and they find out. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know. What would you do?
If I'm close with the guy, I would tell the guy, because that's. I would hope that the guy that I'm with, like, understands that, like, I'm not trying to, like, ruin what you have. I'm just trying to look out for you. And I'm like, yeah, this girl said she was going to stop after the engagement, but one, I don't trust you.
And it's right. And it's like, do you really want to, get married? Like, they had no intention of stopping.
Yeah.
So, and then she clearly is with a married person, so she doesn't mind ruining marriages.
Well, I don't think it's married.
Yeah, I thought she was cheating with someone.
A married friend of a friend. So that's like saying, like, a friend.
Exactly, though. She was cheating with someone who was married.
A married friend of a friend?
Yes. Okay, just take my word on this. She was cheating with someone who was married. And so, yeah, it's like, I wouldn't feel comfortable that she would take your marriage and think it's this priority, and So, yeah, I would probably tell him, too. But oh my gosh, that's always a very uncomfortable spot to be in.
So they updated and said, I told him I'm away for work this week. but I Skyped him and broke the news as gently as I could. He disconnected pretty quickly to confront her, and I haven't heard from either of them yet. This morning, she texted me begging to keep what she told me a secret, so I have screenshots of those texts if she tries to say I'm lying. I don't think she will do that, but I also never pictured her cheating.
Right.
To those saying I'm a terrible person for even asking this question, I accept that. But the person saying, but they were really blindsided by this confession and was dreading hurting my friend and having to be the one to tell them.
Who is saying she's a terrible person?
But yeah.
What? You're not terrible for wanting to help someone.
Yeah, I don't know the people that would like be like, man, you're terrible for even questioning it. It's like, no, like it's you're in the middle. Like, this information that you didn't even expect to have. Like, you're just looking for other opinions of what people would do.
Yeah, no, I totally would tell the person. As scary as it is, because you don't want to ruin the friendship. If the shoe was on the other foot, and you were cheating on me, which I know you wouldn't. I'm looking at you, but but no, like if the shoe was on the other foot and a friend, like, you know, who feels close enough to me, like, I would want them to tell me, like,
yeah,
because yeah, it's yeah, like, hello, you should because we have made an agreement, you and I, that's not okay in our relationship. Therefore, if the friend finds out, they know that it's not like stepping on a boundary, like, oh, well, maybe they're in an open relationship, maybe, but no, like, it was clear. It was clear. So, like, it's obviously not okay. And yeah. I wouldn't put that. Yeah, I think that's so dumb when, like, people end up not being friends with you ever, like, after that. I wouldn't put that on my friend as, like, unless the friend was the one cheating with you, because sometimes that happens too. But if it wasn't that case, I wouldn't put it on my friend.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't. Maybe I'd get mad in the moment, like, of just all the emotions, but I wouldn't even be mad at the friend. Maybe, well, who knows? Maybe I'd take it out on the friend, because you know how, like, emotions are. But, like, I wouldn't end a friendship over it.
Yeah.
I'm sure years later I would thank them. Mm-hmm. But, oh my gosh. Yeah. That's so sad. Man, that stinks. He got to start all over. 10 years.
That's, yeah.
All his 20s. That stinks.
Yeah, that's really tough. And that
really
can
stinks.
imagine that if that happens to you after 10 years, you're probably not going to be seeing anyone for a couple years. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, now you're even waiting longer. And if you have the possibility of wanting kids and all that stuff, it's like, kind of.
Hey, this is kind of like us, because I'm pretty sure we started dating 21, right? Yeah. So when we're 31, it'll be 10 years too.
Yeah, but we're not proposing to each other and getting married.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, it's to put it in perspective. Think about how much we would have gone through in those 10 years and, like, those formative years.
Yeah, because imagine they could have been living together.
Right.
They could have had a place. Like,
so that's a lot.
So many things could have happened. They could have been planning for kids. Like,
ugh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, sorry, dude.
But that's all I got. I was thinking about doing the stupid, like, airline debate thing, and, like, should you ask someone to, like, recline your seat? God. But I'm like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
The point is, if someone is saying, yo, can you please, like, push up your seat, because I just, you know, I'm eating my food here right now, I'm working on something, and, you know, your chair's pushing too far back,
or I'm like 6'5" and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, if
like,
saying
there are
like
people
that,
like that are
and
actually
they're being
really
polite,
tall.
I'm like, no problem, my G, I got you.
Yeah.
That's putting it as simple as that. And I never liked reclining my seat on planes, because I just don't want to deal with that, and I always hated when someone did that to me. So I just don't want to do it to the next person behind me. That's my thoughts on it.
I did it like once, I think.
Yes, you have.
But that's it.
You're like, now I'm afraid to do it again.
Kind of.
Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
Oh, man. Man.
Men.
Well, my lovely people, we will now bid you adieu. I don't want to hear anything else about
to
just
you.
about what? What?
I do to you. That's like, what am I thinking of? Is it a Disney song? Is it The Sound of Music? Something. There's some song where it's... Never mind.
You're trying to talk to me in Ratatouille voice or something like that.
Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
No, nobody
I
knows
can't
what you're
think
talking
of it,
about.
but...
All right, Brody. All right, guys. Let's not talk about Jussie Smollet for the rest of the year. I don't want that energy in my presence ever again.
Okay,
Same thing with
dang.
R. Kelly. I don't really want to talk about him.
No one was talking about him.
Supposedly he's coming out of jail or he has a chance of getting bailed out or something like that. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about R. Kelly anymore.
No,
There's a lot of people I'm trying to cancel in 2020 and yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay? I don't really want to talk about
Cancel
Gayle
energy.
King and Oprah because they've been hating
You're
on...
over here like me. I got the cancel our neighbors energy of 2020. I'm not putting up with stuff anymore.
I don't really want to talk about Gayle King and Oprah because they want to cancel black people and not cancel Harvey Weinstein or there are other people that aren't black. But we're not going to get into that. What?
Yes, because it's the end of the episode, my love.
Spicy.
People are going to be like, but wait.
Spicy. Man, as always, guys, we want to hear your thoughts. We want to know if you have questions for us, anything, thoughts, opinions, viewpoints, all that lovely fun stuff. Please hit us on anchor.fm/PagingTheSimpsons. You can hit us with a voice message. We'll play it on the next episode.
It's like cutting the air over here. PagingTheSimpsons.
Or you can send us an email through PagingTheSimpsons@gmail.com. All the information is in the description, so please let us hear from you.
Love us.
With that being said, if you're listening to iTunes, please take a moment and give us a rating and review on iTunes. It is definitely appreciated.
5 stars, 5 stars.
Man, I hope you guys had a
My
great
moment.
weekend. For those of you that are lucky, I hope you had a great long weekend and had that extra Monday to just chill and do whatever. I know I will be stuck hiding in a room because someone has freak up makeup people or has stuff happening.
I have clients.
Same
sir.
thing. And I really want a Sonic burger.
What? This is so random. All right.
Dog, off topic.
Oh my gosh.
If
Everything's
I
been
go
off
over
topic.
my budget for the last time in
the
the past year, can I get a
Wait,
Sonic
what?
burger? If I go over my spending budget for this month, can I get a Sonic burger? It's only like $12.
Over?
Yeah,
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
I'm over my spending, but like I would go over it.
No.
Please, I'm
Sir,
tempted. It may happen.
Why are we doing this on the
If it's
podcast?
a random thought, and I really want Sonic tomorrow.
Oh my god.
They give Missy a free little doggy bowl thing, ice cream treat thing.
Oh, they're trying to do like Starbucks?
No, they always done it. I brought her there one time, and this girl was like, "Oh, we give a complimentary like dog thing," and I'm like, "Sure." And I didn't give her the treats. So I didn't know how she was gonna react to it, but I literally the ice cream. Like, look.
I didn't get to see this.
Yeah, it's like a long time ago at this point.
Oh,
It's like a year or 2 or 3 ago.
no.
Yeah,
That's why she likes you better.
because I'm the bomb. I know. All right, guys. With that being said, I'm Shadell, host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace out.